Now on WRDE Coast TV.
Loitering in Millville, why there's a new ordinance to prevent it and why some people say it's harmful and unnecessary.
WRDE continuing work on some major roads in Sussex County, how the projects are going and when they could be completed.
I'm First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams. Cloud cover staying a bit thick for us as that cold front begins to push through. It's about to make a big impact on how comfortable you're going to be over this weekend.
Potential parking permits for the beach. How finding a spot for a Lewis Beach Day may be different this summer.
From the beaches to the bays, coverage you can count on. WRDE Coast TV News at 6 starts right now.
A new ordinance on loitering drawing some debate. Good evening, I'm Madeline Overturf.
I'm Matt Pensick. Welcome to our News at 6. And we begin tonight with that new ordinance against loitering. It's causing a stir among some people in Millville.
$90. That's the amount you could now face in Millville for loitering after hours. The new ordinance aims to regulate lingering, sleeping in public, or trespassing. WRDE's Heidi Kirk is live in Millville. And Heidi, the ordinance is facing some backlash from people who say it targets homeless people, but the mayor says that's not the case.
Maddie, here at Evans Park, there's been a history of vandalism. In fact, just months ago, there was a car driving right here through the playground. And if you take a look over here at Wally the Whale, he's all scratched up. And that's what encouraged the town to put in place this ordinance against loitering. This is the scene at Evans Park, a common gathering place for people in Millville. Now after dusk, you could get fined for being here.
We had some incidents that we wanted to be on top of, and we're doing something to keep it a safe place.
A new ordinance penalizes people for loitering, sleeping in public, or trespassing. The mayor says it's to deter people from vandalism, but some people say it's a target for homeless people who have nowhere else to go.
I would hope they had a backup plan in place for those people. That's one thing I couldn't tell you in this area where there's a homeless shelter besides Georgetown, which is quite a hike. You couldn't get there easily.
A similar ordinance in Dover drawing national attention from the American Civil Liberties Union, saying, quote, "It's an obvious attempt to prevent the unhoused and people in need from being seen, but it is also a blatant attack on the rights of all people." But the mayor says it isn't intended to single anyone out.
We're not out to arrest anyone. We're out here to keep this a beautiful place, a gathering place.
Others are glad to see the park well maintained.
We shouldn't have people sleeping here or staying too late, getting in trouble, things like that.
Penalties range from a $90 to $150 fine. Maddie, one council member voted against this ordinance, saying that he was worried it could bring up some lawsuits. He was not available to interview. The other 4 council members voted for it. Maddie?
Now, Heidi, how does the town plan to enforce the new ordinance?
Well, they are primarily relying on actually just regular people who come out to report anything suspicious. There's also a park administrator who's here 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, who you can report things to as well. And they did say that it's important to note that police will only get involved if absolutely necessary. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Heidi. This brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know if you think towns should ban loitering. Here are the updated results from the last hour.
Take a look at the bottom of your screen there. 27% say yes, outright ban. 27% also saying no. And 46% say yes with some conditions. Similar to what we saw at 5.
Yeah, you know, if you look at it, it's pretty much split across the boards. If you take the yes, no, and the maybes combined, it's just pretty. It's an even split. There are valid points on both sides. It's just tough to say what's right and wrong on this one.
It does make sense, and a lot of opinions there, and we hope to hear more opinions. If you could vote before our 11 p.m. newscast, we'll have updated results there. You can vote on our website or our Facebook page has the link. Also the WRDE News app. All
right, Maddie, WRDE projects are ongoing in Sussex County. Georgetown and Millsboro are seeing some of the most work. And WRDE's Cody Decker shows us the projects going on and when they are expected to be completed.
There are plenty of orange barrels and construction trucks sitting around Sussex County. In Georgetown, Aero Safety Road has been worked on as part of Phase 1 of the Park Avenue relocation project.
We will be making some lane adjustments and hoping to, again, move into the next phase of work, weather permitting, on Aero Safety Road.
Bill West says Sussex County's roads need improvements.
I do think the roads need work, which I'm sure they'll get to them eventually. And I think what they're doing with Aero Safety Road and a couple others, I think that's going to help traffic-wise.
DelDOT is also working on Route 24 here in Millsboro by adding turn lanes to certain intersections, which some say is a much-needed addition.
Especially when people are trying to get in and out of some of these community developments, because there isn't a turn lane sometimes, and left-hand turns in particular, though I don't want to see a bunch of traffic islands or lights added either, because I think that gets kind of difficult.
Buck added that she wishes DelDOT would not do all of these projects at the same time. However, DelDOT says the winter is a busy time for road work before the summer arrives. With coverage you can count on in Sussex County, Cody Decker, WRDE, Coast TV News.
And Aero Safety Road will remain closed, so the fall work is complete at Route 24 and Long Neck Road, but other intersections will continue to be improved.
As we take a live look this evening into our Tidal Health camera in Salisbury, the weather was nice this morning, nice this evening. Honestly, feeling a little bit more like spring than winter. I'm not mad about it, but our First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams has a look at our First Alert forecast, and it's not going to stay like that, really.
So we're still mild, but not as mild as we were like yesterday. Well, yesterday was just outrageously warm because we got up to 70 degrees. But we started off this morning at 52 degrees in Georgetown, 49 Ocean City, and 55 in Salisbury. So that's still mild in and of itself because that's above the norm for this time of the year yet again. But take a look, for example, as we kind of get into what's going to be happening for tomorrow. Listen, we're going to climb to about 50 by 10 o'clock, and then we're going to hold it about 52 by noon. That's about as much gusto as we're going to get from a thermodynamic standpoint, with mostly sunny skies, 52 by 2 o'clock. And then we start falling back into the 40s as you're out shopping and doing all of your retail therapy. Listen, big time cold is on the way, and nobody's going to escape it if you're still in the Delmarva area. We'll talk about that coming up in your full forecast. Till then, back to you.
All right, Paul, and if you plan to run for a city council or office in Milford, the city wants you to know that the deadline to apply for this election is February 21st at 4:30 p.m. That's according to the city. Candidates can pick up nominating petitions Monday through Friday from 8 to 4:30 at the Milford City Hall's City Clerk's office. The City of Milford's annual election will be held on April 22nd from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Moving forward with another election, this time for the town of Selbyville. The town council election will be held at Town Hall on West Church Street in Selbyville. According to the town, anyone wishing to apply as a candidate must file a written notice of candidacy. Now, those to file a notice and the last day to register, got to remember to do this February 10th, also the last day to register to vote. The town says the election will take place March 4th, and it'll go from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Starting this year, people living in Delaware will not have to pay more than $35 a month for diabetes supplies. This includes glucose meters, continuous glucose monitors, and testing strips. Last month, Governor John Carney signed Senate Bill 316, capping the monthly cost of diabetes supplies. Although insulin is not covered under this bill, decreasing the cost of diabetes supplies and equipment could allow people to better afford drug and safely manage their diabetes.
DelDOT says local businesses have the opportunity to apply for a grant through the Transportation Infrastructure Investment Fund. DelDOT officials say this funding is established to provide economic assistance for renovation, construction, or any other types of improvements related to roads and transportation infrastructure efforts. Now, DelDOT says this will help attract new businesses or expand existing ones in Delaware. Applications due pretty quickly, though, January 9th.
DelDOT announced today the Love Creek Bridge on Route 24 will be getting new pile jackets and repairs. The agency says work will start January 18th and will go through February 24th, depending on weather. DelDOT says that most of the work will take place in the waterway, but a small amount of traffic control will work to take place across the bridge. According to DelDOT, drivers can expect shoulder and possibly lane closures during the construction work.
Well, imagine needing a permit to park on the side streets next to Lewis Beach. That could be the case starting next summer.
Yeah, WRDE's Charles Reiner shows us what the permit system could look like and the reaction.
The city is looking into a parking permit system for summer 2023, and discussions on how these permits would work are heating up. City Manager Anne Marie Townsend says instances of illegal parking on side streets encouraged a permit system.
Because there's, a limited supply of parking and, just a lot of demand for it, the permit system would bring order to it. That's the intention.
A committee is recommending 3 types of permits: one for the season, one for the week, and one for the weekend. The cost for each permit would vary, but the season pass would be cheaper for locals. It would cost $100 for the season compared to $250 for people from out of town. The permits would be for parking on side streets. The public lots, like the one for Savannah Beach, would still be metered. Gary Merlongi thinks it would help improve traffic.
I live right there on the beach, so I see the queue that goes, it just keeps going and going, especially in July and August.
Jackson Sarter doesn't know how effective it will be.
Even if you have a parking permit, what are the chances of you being able to park? Even when you're able to park, even when you're able to pay for parking, you're not guaranteed a spot.
Each permit would be assigned to a license plate. This is still a proposal at this time. City Council is set to discuss the beach parking permits, and they're meeting on January 9th. And Townsend says that a decision needs to be made by their February meeting in order for implementation to take place in time for the summer. With coverage you can count on, I'm Charles Reiner reporting in Lewis, WRDE Coast TV News.
We are just getting started.
Coming up, final regular season games in the NFL, how this week's actions will impact teams attempting to make the playoffs.
It looks like we need to start brushing up on exactly what wind chill means, because it's going to mean a whole lot to you this coming up weekend. I'll explain why coming up in a moment.
But first, Restaurant Week about to begin in Berlin. The town is getting ready to cook up something good. We're back in just 60 seconds.
WRDE Coast TV. Fresh and new information important to you from the beaches and Delmarva's coastal communities. With the latest news and weather that's relevant and useful to you. Watch WRDE for coastal community news.
Crime rates, they are going down in Ocean City.
Beach weather.
Here's a look at your beach forecast, just kind of break it down for you.
Info about your coastal towns and schools. Plus, entertainment at the beach. WRDE Coast TV News at 5, 6, and 11. Coverage you can count on.
From empty nester to first home, Accessible Home Builders does it all.
It was great working with Scott at Accessible Builders. He called us every Monday and asked us to come over to the house at each step of the way during the construction of our home.
It was pretty unique working with Scott because not only is he the owner, but he was working in here hands-on with his employees and really just trying to make our vision come to life.
Design your dream home with Accessible Home Builders.
Berlin Restaurant Week is fast approaching. The annual event is back, and restaurants in Berlin, they're ready to cook for locals and visitors alike.
Yeah, looking forward to this. WRDE's Carmen Holland shows us what Berlin has cooking.
It's back. Berlin, Maryland is hosting Restaurant Week. With this time of year and a slower season for Berlin, the idea of tasty foods at a discounted rate is a draw.
They go to a restaurant, they get a card, and they have to have it stamped by 3 different restaurants. At that time, they turn it into the Welcome Center, which is downtown Berlin on Main Street. And if their name gets pulled, they win $20 gift cards to all the restaurants that are participating. And I put $100 in there also.
Restaurants are preparing.
I believe that my daughter will be preparing extra juice, so it will be available and fresh for anyone that stops by.
There's definitely a lot of people that come in for Restaurant Week. You very rarely get someone that's in here without the knowledge of Restaurant Week, but I would say it's definitely busier.
And people like Stephanie Rio, who have never been to Restaurant Week, are excited to try.
People are concerned that eating out is very expensive, and Restaurant Week gives you a chance to try out maybe a 3-course meal for a fixed price, and you can get some really yummy food and have fun all at the same time. I think for the businesses, it's an opportunity for them to invite new clients into the restaurants. People get a chance to try new places. It's good for the business, it's good for the town, it's good for people who are searching for a new place to eat.
June and Juice and other businesses here in Berlin are excited for Restaurant Week. They look forward to the new people and new business to come through town. With coverage you can count on in Berlin, I'm Carmen Holland, WRDE, Coast TV News.
Regular season is coming to an end. What could the playoffs look like for the NFL?
As we take a sneak peek at our forecast model run, by Saturday morning, we're going to drop to freezing. And it's actually going to feel even worse than that because of the winds. I'll explain all that in detail coming up in a moment.
It's good to be back.
Let's do it. Months ago, I worked a gang case. Are they coming after me now?
Mom, what's going on?
NYPD! Drop your weapon. Drop it now!
Is it time for a new roof? Spicer Brothers can install your last roof using the highest quality materials and the best workmanship on Delmarva. We provide on-site design and an on-site proposal for your new roofing system. Plus, Spicer Brothers makes it easy with 0% financing with no payments until 2024. And your new roof will be protected by our Platinum Plus warranty, a true, transferable, lifetime warranty on the materials and the workmanship. Call Spicer Brothers today to schedule your free consultation. Spicer Brothers, your total home protection experts.
16 years ago, we founded Community Bank Delaware with the goal of providing high-quality banking services to our local community. Here you meet with decision makers, people just like you who live in and love this community. We provide the newest banking technologies to our customers, supported by our local team of banking professionals. Our bank serves clients throughout Sussex County, and we continue to grow, all thanks to you. Community Bank Delaware, where community matters.
The holiday was delightful, but your couch is now a little frightful. Dinner time full of joy, but your dining table is not so anymore. Holiday mishaps happen, and Alton Brothers Home Furnishings in Salisbury can help. A fresh new look for the new year. Sit back and relax in our showroom filled with furniture from living rooms, bedrooms, to dining, and more. Plus, in-house financing and Alton's unmatched, everyday low prices that can't be beat. Serving Delmarva for over 75 years. Have you been to Alton Brothers Home Furnishings in Salisbury lately?
At Delmarva Dental Services, we love taking care of our patients. We are always learning and growing so that we can provide the best care possible. We offer weeknight and Saturday hours because we know our patients' time is valuable. Call or visit us online at delmarvadentalservices.com to schedule your appointment today.
So it's continued to stay cloudy throughout a good portion of the day. Temperatures hovering between 60s and 50s, and that's how we've been basically enjoying this last day of mild conditions, although it's continued to stay cloudy as the cold front continues to work its way throughout our immediate area. But now that joy is coming to an end because we're going to have to start talking about the wind chill factor, because what is wind chill? Well, it's when it's windy, the moving air breaks up the insulating warm layer that we have over our bodies. So, for example, at 20 degrees, if the winds are blowing at 20 miles per hour, well, then this helps to speed up the heat loss, making it feel much colder. So 20 degrees with a 20 mile per hour wind speed will make it feel more like 4 degrees. Now, we're not going to get that bad, but we're going to start flirting in the 20s in a second. Let me show you that in a moment. So we start off with Friday morning. 5 o'clock in the morning, we're looking at 43 Broadkill and in Rehoboth, Dewey Beach, 46 Georgetown, Millsboro, and 48 Selbyville, right along Highway 113. Scattered cloud cover. But then the winds pick up momentum. That's where you see the little aggressive arrows right there. 50 for Rehoboth Beach and Long Neck, Bethany Beach, 48 Dewey Beach by 3 o'clock. But the winds are picking up momentum here. Then for Saturday morning, we start off at 32 degrees in Rehoboth and Milton and Georgetown, for example. And then we're going to stay in the 30s by mid-morning with cloud cover staying thick. Now, pay attention to those winds because that's why we're going to have the wind chill factor become a big factor. See, Friday morning, wind chill factor will be 41 to 42 degrees. Not so bad, close to the actual temps. But Saturday morning is when things start coming back and unraveling as far as that warm weather is concerned. It'll start feeling like 26 in Rehoboth, Bethany Beach, Millsboro, and it'll feel like 25 in Milton and in Georgetown. And that's just the start of the cold that's headed in our direction, okay? We go into, let's say, Saturday evening. Sunday, it's going to become even cooler than that, believe it or not. Now, the winds are going to continue to kind of change on us because the winds are about 5 to 6 miles per hour early, but then by the afternoon, evening, look how it picks up momentum between, let's say, 12 to near 20 mile per hour winds and coming out of the northwest. That combination is going to make it, that's all I can say. So here we go. You ready for this reality check? Tonight, 44, and we're starting to feel the return of the chill by tonight. Tomorrow, scatter clouds. It's not warm anymore. Nope, not anymore. Then on Saturday, a jarring start because of the morning temps and those winds. And then here's a look at the extended forecast. Looking Friday, 52, Saturday, 49. Sunday morning, we start off at 29 degrees. Oh, yeah, and then we'll have 27 next Thursday. That's 2 days of cold temperatures in the 20s.
All right, thank you, Paul. It is the final regular season week of the NFL. The Delmarva Sports Network. Zach Parnes talks about the top matchups and how this week's action will impact the playoffs.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Happy Thursday, sports fans. No Thursday night football this evening. We got to wait for Saturday to see NFL action. This weekend is a huge weekend in terms of playoff seeding. The Eagles and Ravens have both clinched a spot in the postseason, but they still need to try against their respective opponents this week. The Ravens especially so. Baltimore squaring off with Cincinnati in Week 18. A win could potentially move them up the wild card standings. Depending on, though, what other teams do, like the Bills, the Steelers, the Broncos, everybody kind of has an impact on everyone, a little symbiotic relationship of sorts. That game slotted for 1 p.m. on Sunday. Best of luck to the Birds that wear purple. And then, of course, there's the Birds that wear green. The Eagles hunting for a first-round bye in the NFC playoff picture. They're going to need to beat the Giants on Sunday to get there, though, which isn't going to be an easy task. New York head coach Brian Daboll says he isn't resting a single starter, meaning that the Eagles are going to have to bring their A game in order to stay ahead of San Francisco and Dallas. Philly quarterback Jalen Hurts still up in the air for a decision on whether or not he's going to play Sunday. The MVP candidate has been practicing, but is the Bird star going to get to spread his wings and fly? That's the big question. We'll find out. Also, this weekend, the Commanders not in the playoff hunt, but they do have a chance to shake up the standings with a win against the Dallas Cowboys. Washington knocked out of postseason contention last week against the Cleveland Browns. Some would say, though, this weekend is a statement-type kind of game for Coach Ron Rivera, who is very likely on the hot seat in Landover. And that will do it for sports for now, but don't forget, if you're looking for local sports content, you can always get it with us, the Delmarva Sports Network.
One of the largest gun shops in Maryland is right here in Ocean City. Larry's Trading Post has over 2,000 firearms for you to choose from. With Maryland's new law, we're locked and loaded with hundreds of concealed carry guns. Larry's has the largest selection ever of rifles and shotguns for hunting season. Our experts will help you find the right gun for you.
With over 2,000 guns in stock, why go anywhere else?
Larry's Trading Post on Route 611 in Ocean City.
January is Bath Safety Month, and today we're going to learn how West Shore Home is providing homeowners all across America with safe and accessible bathing solutions. Kirsten.
So Joe, when people think about remodeling their shower for safety, sometimes it scares them off because what they picture is those big shower seats and suction grab bars, things that aren't necessarily clean or modern looking. Here at West Shore Home, you can design your shower to be focused on safety and still get that beautiful modern look that everyone wants in their bathroom. So let's take a look at a job where we did exactly that. This homeowner was relying on this removable grab bar to get in and out of her tub. She didn't trust that setup, so she decided it was time to get rid of her old bathtub and replace it with an easy low-step shower. We completed this entire installation in just one day.
Call in now because West Shore Home is offering 18 months of no payments and no interest. And on top of that, they're going to take 20% off your shower or bath project. This offer won't last long, so call West Shore Home now.
I'm Nathan Hudson from Laurel, and I utilize the USDA's Wetland Reserve Easement Program to improve water quality and wildlife habitat on my farm. Wetlands improve water quality by filtering sediments and chemicals while providing food and shelter for wildlife. If you have at least 10 acres, you may be eligible for 75% or more of the fair market value and restoration costs for placing an easement on your wooded or ag lands. To learn more about this program, stop by your local USDA Service Center.
When you bank with the Farmers Bank of Willards, something wonderful happens. You make a difference in your own community. The Farmers Bank has remained locally owned and operated for nearly 100 years, and decisions on where to invest profits are still made right here by local people. In just the last 25 years, over $200 million have been reinvested into our local economy to help local families, businesses, schools, towns, and youth programs build and grow and prosper.
Switch to the Farmers Bank of Willards, where people matter.
Time now for a look at what's coming up tonight in primetime. It's Law and Order night, and it's all new. Law and Order at 8, Law and Order SVU at 9, and Organized Crime at 10. And join us back here for WRDE News at 11.
Over on CBS, new episodes there as well. At 8, it's Young Sheldon. 8:30, Ghost. After that, at 9, it is So Help Me Todd, followed by CSI Vegas at 10.
Also, new episodes on Fox tonight at 8, Hell's Kitchen. Then at 9, Welcome to Flatch. And at 9:30, Call Me Kat.
Over on the Delmarva Sports Network tonight, high school basketball, DeMatha and Bergen Catholic boys, and that's followed by the final score at 10:30. Well, coming up new on WRDE News at 11, part of the reason why there is still no Speaker of the House, Eastern Shore Rep Andy Harris. What is his position now that 7 votes have failed? That story and more at 11.
Real quick reminder, hey, be sure you enter our umbrella giveaway courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling. To enter, go to coasttvumbrella.com. Here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast here on WRDE. 52 for the high on Friday. Saturday morning, we wake up to 33 degrees, but Sunday morning, we wake up to 29. 40% chance of rain kicks in for us on Monday. By next week, we're looking at 27, 29, 30 with a chance of a wintry mix possibly by next Friday and Saturday. So prepare, folks. Winter is back in style.
Paul, thank you. And thank you for joining us here for WRDE News at 6.
For more news and local weather, download our WRDE News app.
The NBC Nightly News is up next.
And we will see you later tonight for WRDE News at 11. Have a great night.